Sarah, what is your one question?
So, I have been trying to realign my business to go more online. I'm a nutritional therapist. I'm used to doing one-to-one clinical consultations, but I want to move things online. But I am tying myself up in knots trying to grow my audience. So I'm using Instagram, I'm using Facebook, I've done a bit of Substack podcasting. I'm kind of all over the place. And I want to work out how do I discover, how do I find out which is my one best route to my audience? Maybe
Got
that's
it.
something I should know before I start all this, but I don't. And I'm going around in circles basically and not really applying myself to anything.
Sure. So you've been a nutritionist. You've been coaching for how long have you been coaching for?
12, 13 years.
12, 13 years, mainly
Yeah,
offline. You're
yeah,
trying to bring your business on the online space.
exactly.
How long have you been wanting to do this for?
Well, ever since COVID, really. So, of course, the way we practice, everything changed during COVID. In nutritional therapy, our code of practice is that you have to have face-to-face consultations. So before COVID, we weren't even allowed to do Zoom or anything online. Since then, the whole way we practice has changed. So yes, I can do Zoom consultations. I also can do group consultations or group programs. And that's where I want to grow my audience and my business. But I've got a very small email list. That's something that I know I need to develop. And that's what's not happening for me. I'm not, whatever I put out on One Into the World is not connecting. It's not getting me an audience.
Got it. And how long since COVID, you wanted to make that switch, it became possible to make that switch. How long have you been trying these different methods out, posting content on social media or growing the email list? How long has that been going on for?
Actually, not that long. So I may just be wanting too much too quickly. I only really started doing this tail end of last summer. So August, September last year.
Okay, that's a good amount of time.
5, 6 months.
Yeah.
5, 6 months of concerted effort. Yeah.
And what do you feel within that is the main challenge for you?
Consistency in one area, I think. Because I was very present on Instagram. I was doing a weekly blog and I was doing about 4 or 5 posts on Instagram every week through to Christmas. And then after Christmas, I just fell off the rails. I just, it's all gone horribly wrong. It's just stopped because I thought, is this actually working for me? It doesn't seem to be giving me any traction. So am I actually my efforts in the wrong place?
And where do you usually get your clients now?
Referrals. So it's all local. At the moment, it's all local business to me. It's referrals from past clients, or it's people that find me in a local networking group or environment.
Got it. And your dream life, tell me a bit about that. Let's just say I can snap my fingers and I'm going to go, you know what, Sarah? I'm going to grant you everything. What does that look like in terms of your business?
It would be it's still one-to-one consultations, but a limited number. I would have an evergreen program or two that people could buy off the shelf. And I would be running a masterclass around energy and gut health, like once or twice a year. That would be my ideal business. But I think I'm a long way away from being able to make that happen.
So we got a sense of what your ideal business is, what your ideal life would look like with that. Now, I always say information doesn't equal transformation. You have probably read so many books about marketing, email lists, post on social media, go to TikTok, go to events, network. You probably read all these things. Knowing all that information, how does that make you feel right now?
Completely overwhelmed. Completely overwhelmed. I have even read things about people who overconsume, and I've done all sorts of free trainings. I've done bits and pieces, and I think I've just sort of got lost in the whole thing. And I'm completely confused and overwhelmed by this massive information. And I know that I kind of need to bring myself back to one point, but I'm struggling to do that, really struggling to do that.
And you said a great word there. You said you're feeling overwhelmed. Usually what happens when someone's feeling overwhelmed is they stop taking action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has that been happening with you?
That feels about right. Yeah.
And the lack of action that ends up happening then reinforces that belief that this is really hard. Where do you put your energy? And now something that was fun, part of your business, it lets you to work with people, share your gift to the world. Now it sort of becomes this very heavy weight that you're like, don't know where to put it kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You start to get the self-doubt creeping in as well, which is sort of, so it's a downward spiral as opposed to the upward spiral that I felt I was on in September, October time.
Do you believe you can be successful in the online space?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I have confidence in what I know in my field and confidence in my ability to communicate that. It's just that I don't have anyone to communicate it to at the moment. That's how I feel. If you put me in front of people who wanted to know about how to optimize their energy or their gut health through their nutrition, their diet, I would be very comfortable talking about that. But I don't have those people to get in front of, and that's my challenge.
So I work with a lot of coaches, a lot of small businesses, and I can tell you from working with so many different people in different markets, in America, in Europe, in India, in Thailand, that there is no one right way. Doesn't exist. What works for one person might or might not work for someone else. Okay, so that's the first thing. So then I want to ask, where do you like to show up? Do you like making videos? Do you like writing emails? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, this is the other problem that I have. I enjoy doing lots of different things. My background was in marketing, so I'm quite a creative person, and I go down the rabbit hole of creating posts and marketing materials. So I really enjoy that area, but equally I enjoy talking to people and helping them to find their sort of aha moment, if you like, in their health. Again, it's a bit of a combination of things that I really enjoy. And I thought I thought I had a nice balance because I was able to apply my creative skills for this business. But I think I get too distracted by trying to make things look great and be perfect and all of that sort of stuff, and forget about actually getting in front of people myself.
Yeah. One thing I see with a lot of people that are moving to the online space is spend so much time on their website, on their logo. I had a client that spent months on his logo. Months.
Yeah.
Months. And they spend all this energy and they exhaust themselves because finally they get the logo out or they get the perfect edit for the video. And then there's nothing, no one sees it. And they're like, I spent so many hours on this and no one saw
Yeah.
it. Is this
Yeah.
resonating?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got these things that you're really proud of and they look amazing, but no one's seeing it.
Yeah.
So
Now you work with the gut, you work with health. Have you ever had a client, let's just switch gears for a second, come to you and say, hey, I'm having these gut problems. And then maybe you tell them they need to switch it up and change their diet?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
all
let's
the
pretend I'm a
time.
client of yours. And I come back to you and I say, Sarah, I thought, thank you so much for the session last week. So I started the diet. I started it yesterday and I noticed no results. I don't think this diet works. What would you say?
Well, the first thing I would say is we need to give it time. We need consistency and we need to give it time. So, after one day, you're not going to see a change.
Sarah, thanks so much for what we talked about last week. Now we're on our third session. It's now been a full 2 weeks and really still haven't noticed any difference.
Okay, so let's talk about exactly what you've been doing. Let's go back through the steps that we agreed at the start and see where you are with each of those steps.
Yeah, well, I followed the diet right after our session, that whole day. I followed it the next day. The weekend, I decided to go on a bit of a bender and I ate like 2 pizzas and some beer. But then I got back on it on Monday. Tuesday, I ate a tub of popcorn. It was so good, though. And then Wednesday I ate good for dinner. But yeah, so I don't think this diet works. I mean, I've pretty much been following it.
Doesn't sound like you've actually been following it, though.
Yes.
There's
Now,
too much digression there.
let's take that exact same approach now and put it towards your business and marketing.
Okay.
You have been posting, let's go with social media. How consistent have you been posting on social media for?
I was very consistent through Christmas, New Year. And then at New Year, I don't know why. I think because I had actually planned everything. I had actually planned 12 weeks of content and I had it all mapped out and I knew exactly what I was going to be talking about. And I created everything pretty much in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to the end of those 12 weeks, then it was, what do I do now? Do I start again with the same themes or do I have to come up with new stuff? And is this subject, are these posts that I'm doing, what I'm talking about, is it actually the right message for people? Because I'm not getting a lot of traction. So, and I think that's what stopped me. I started questioning whether what I was talking about was what people needed to know about.
And this platform you're posting on, was it just Instagram or was it YouTube, TikTok?
Instagram and Facebook, Meta, basically.
Instagram and Facebook. And how big is your following currently on Instagram?
About 200 people.
Okay. So
Tiny.
it's about 200 people that you have on there. And how often were you posting videos?
Not often enough.
But what's not often enough?
Well, I know that I need... Do you mean videos of me as opposed to reels?
Yeah, videos of you as a reel, like you talking about maybe gut health or...
I haven't done any. I haven't done any.
What
I
were you
think
posting?
maybe I've done one. Maybe I've done one or two.
Got it.
This is out of my comfort zone. You know, I'm happy doing this sort of live thing where I'm talking to somebody or talking to people live in a presentation or whatever. But when you put me on video on my own platform, I know I need to do it. And actually, I think I have got my head around the fact that I can do it. It's fine. But I just haven't done it. I don't feel, I know everyone says, oh, you just turn up, don't worry about what you look like, don't turn up, don't worry about, don't get caught up in the aesthetics, just talk to people and be authentic, be yourself. But I know that when I look at people that are authentic in themselves and they're dancing around their kitchen or doing something silly, it drives me nuts. That isn't me. So that's not, it's, I need to do something that is a little bit more, I guess, professional looking.
So you don't have to dance. It's good news.
Thank God.
I don't dance. Maybe I will one day, but I haven't danced in any videos yet. I haven't done that. And it's easy. You see everyone doing that and you think, oh, the reason I'm not successful is because I'm not dancing. No, that's not true. Tony Robbins doesn't dance. There's a million other coaches. I don't dance in my videos. I have a successful business. A lot of people don't do that. But I want to backtrack for a second. So you were consistent posting. What were you posting?
I was posting carousels and some were reels, but it was very much information heavy. It was, 5 steps to keep me fueled through the afternoon or 5 steps to avoid the mid-afternoon slump or, it was that sort of thing.
Got it. Which is great content. It's great content. I would look at that.
Useful.
However, when you use social media, for a second, do you use Instagram for do you scroll a lot ever on the reels?
I look at cats and puppies.
Amazing. When you look at the cats and puppies, I get a lot of cats too. When you look at cats and puppies, are they static pictures and the information like, this is a brown-tailed cat. It meows 4 times a day and it eats this. And you go, oh.
No.
Or are you seeing a video of a cat like doing something silly?
It's doing something silly. It's entertaining. It's sweet. It's, yeah.
Okay.
It's breaking up my day with something lighthearted.
Yes. So we know you don't want to dance, and you're not watching too many dance videos anyways, but we do know that you like to consume video content.
Yes.
Not static pictures of cats. The same as the majority of people on social media. They're doing this. And gut health. I have IBS. I have ulcerative colitis. What is she saying? Huh. Oh, interesting. What else does she say? Right? That's usually how they consume it. Having carousels is great. I have a few of those. They're great to have information. But when someone's going to work with you, they can just ChatGPT how to fix my gut health, right? And they'll get some stuff.
Yeah.
Same with anything, any coaching, anything, relationship coaching, mindset coaching, confidence coaching. But again, information doesn't equal transformation, right? They're going to come to you because they like your history, the fact that you've been doing this for over 10 years, the fact that you've worked with so many different clients, that you're knowledgeable, your energy. All of this is what they're buying into. You cannot get that from a picture.
Yeah.
Get that from a video. So if you want to grow in your Instagram, videos are going to be the best way to do that, first of all. Carousels, static posts are great. But if you're posting quotes and statistics and this, just information, people don't go, you don't go to social media just to get information. They'll go to Google for that, right? And so one of the big things, the hurdles we got to work through is you're not posting videos.
Right.
Now, you mentioned earlier there's a fear that comes in there. Tell me a bit about that fear, about putting a camera in front of you. And
I've always been very camera shy. I hate photos, I hate video, and I'm getting better. I've got to the point where I am like, well, it's do or die. Just get on with it. What's the worst that can happen? And I do generally feel that It's just that it's taking me a bit of time to plan what I'm going to say. If you were to say to me now, do you know what, Sarah? I think you should just spend the next month focusing on putting video content on Instagram. Nothing else, just video content on Instagram. That's what I would go away and do. But because that takes me a bit longer than I've got to put a presentation together for a chat I've got with the GP this week and this Friday, I've got to do this client work for a meeting with a client on Thursday. I've got all these other things to do. Plus I'm thinking, oh, I've got a lead magnet that I'm supposed to be putting together. I need to get that sorted, and I need to get my mini course sorted. So all these other things are coming in and crowding in on me. And they, to me, are easier to create than a video.
So we're going after low-hanging fruit that doesn't actually move our business in the direction we want. They're great to have up there, but they're actually not going to get you to where you want to go.
True. Yeah. Good
Video
point.
is going to do that for you on that. Now, there's this fear that you have in sense of how do I look on camera. You've mentioned that a few times. If you're doing this other stuff, you're hopping on a podcast, we're having a great conversation. You're not like, hi, Brian. No, not at all.
This is it. It's insane. It is crazy, and it's held me back all my life. And people have always said to me, look at you on this video. You're brilliant. You're coming across great. But I don't see it, and I've never seen it. And now I just feel I am on a bit of a back foot with it. And I know that I am, I have got to get on with it because it's the way the world works now.
I had a client that I worked with, and he was a coach starting off in his journey. Similar to you. Had a lot of fear around posting videos, was just doing quotes and just doing like statistics and like things here and there, which is fine, but it wasn't getting any traction. And then we worked through a lot of the fears that come up around posting videos, recording videos. He started doing this. He started making the videos, started posting consistently. And what do you know what happened? Somebody saw the video, resonated, started conversation, ended up signing a client.
Yeah. Yeah.
We only have 90. What are you going to say?
Sorry?
No.
Because the rest is probably a whole other conversation about, is Instagram the right place for me to be? Or should I be doing YouTube? Should I be putting something, because then I can do something that's more educational on YouTube.
So normally someone like you, I'd be working with for at least 10 weeks to nail out all these different things, see what's working, make adjustments. But since we don't have much time left, what I would say to you is you're doing a great job talking to me right now. All you need to do to make content, it's really simple. Ask a friend if you can do a podcast just like this, give them a bunch of questions to ask you you would like to talk about. And literally, Riverside, what we're using right now to record this Coffee with the Coach episode, will make clips for you.
That is a brilliant idea.
Literally like this.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Yeah. Sarah, what are 3 ways, what are 3 foods I should be eating to help with my skin, to make my skin softer?
Okay. So first of all, you need to make sure that you've got plenty of water. So lots of hydration. You also need certain vitamins. So you need to make sure you've got plenty of brightly coloured fruits, berries, antioxidant-rich foods, because they've got the vitamins and the minerals that help your skin health. You also need plenty of good protein. You need lots of omega-3s, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Lily, just that, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And then that would be a clip. You don't even have to cut it. You just hit a button, boop, and it'll make the clips for you.
Yeah.
And you can do that, have a 2-hour conversation with someone, give them all the questions, write down, go after this, go and write down what are common questions most people ask. They probably say, how do I lose weight? How do I don't know, not be gassy? How do I fix my stomach issues? How can I not feel bloated? You probably can think of 1,000 different.
And I've actually already got the list of questions because I went on I think it's askthepeople.com. And I got a load of questions that are the most common questions that people want to know. So I've done that. So that is a perfect idea of getting somebody to just sit and ask me the questions so that I can bounce off of somebody, basically. Yeah.
Because it's hard if you just sit in front of the camera and then you're like, you never during this podcast, this episode of Coffee with the Coach, you never said, wait, Brian, let me say that again. Hang on. And then fix your hair. And we're like, you're just talking. And people want authenticity. Yeah. And you're authentic when you're doing that. Right? Yeah. Once you do that, if you do 2 hours on Riverside, you'll have at least 20 clips that you can post. Okay? Like that within one day. Now, those 20 clips You can then post, you say, what do I post? I just post on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Once you have the clip, it takes you
Anywhere.
30 seconds. Post them on all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, post them on all and
Mhm.
let it see there. You want to do a longer conversation on YouTube? Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Do your presentation, or better yet, pick a topic and then just record that for an hour.
Yeah.
Have that be on your YouTube. When you start doing that consistently, because if you do that approach, you can be popping out at least 3 videos a week easily from one day's
Yeah.
worth of work.
Yeah.
Whole
Yeah.
month of content. You're going to
Perfect.
naturally start getting inquiries. You're going to naturally start getting people signing up for your email list. Once that starts to grow, you can then
Yeah.
have tell people about your offer,
Okay.
right? Your lead magnet. That these things are all great, but obviously you want to, content's going to be key
Yeah.
because people need to experience you.
Yeah.
You do that,
Absolutely.
you're going to start growing your business, right? Then you can get into workshops, right? That's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
Start doing workshops. I do
Yeah.
workshops all over the world. Last year, I
Yeah.
did 5 countries. I did India, Thailand, New York, which is a state, not a country, and India. Did I
Yeah.
say India? I don't know. I might have already said that. But I did them all over,
Nice.
right? I love traveling. I love working with different kinds of people. I grow a lot of my clients from that and from online, a mix of both. There's no one way. But if you can put the energy into stuff that matters, the energy, because really what's going on now, it's like I say, hey, would you mind getting me another cup of coffee, Sarah? And you spend 3 months talking about the origins of where the beans are coming from. Do I prefer Arabica beans? Do I prefer this? And then after 6 months, you're like, okay, Brian, we can do French press, or we can do percolator, or we can do pour over. And then I go, great, let's just do pour over. I'm fine with that. And then you go, 2 weeks later, what about iced coffee? Let's do iced coffee. Next thing you know, you're telling me about where to get ice from, and you're like, we should get it. And then I'm like, where's the coffee? It's been 8 months. That's what you're doing with your business.
Right. Okay. Point
So,
made. Yes. Yeah.
yes,
No, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to do that.
we are out of time. This would be a longer conversation, but for you, what were your biggest takeaways from this session today?
Well, the fact that I can do video. You give me a solution for how it won't feel fake making a video, and it will be authentic as a conversation. That if I can just rope in a friend, get someone to come round, and we can record something. Yeah, that is going to be game changing for me. It's perfect. Thank you. I
Very
can't believe
welcome.
it's just such a simple idea, but yeah, no, it's great. I think that's
Until
gonna
you
be.
make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate.
Mm.
You've been so caught up, and not just you, most business owners I work with, they get so caught up in these little things, the logo, the website, these little
Yeah,
things, how will I be perceived on camera?
yeah,
They don't take any action. But guess what? The more action you take towards putting video content out there, towards building your business, the more confident you're going to get. And the
yeah,
more confident you get, the more you'll start to attract your ideal client. We didn't even talk about that, who your ideal client is. That's a whole nother conversation, right?
yeah,
Who
absolutely.
would you love to work with? Where do they hang out? How can you reach them? Are they women in their 30s, men in their 50s? That's a
Yeah,
whole nother thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
right now, this little step will get the ball rolling. So for you,
Absolutely.
what action are you going to take this week?
This week might be a bit tough actually because I've got a pretty full week, but I am going to reach out to a friend and I'm going to get a person booked in to come round to me maybe next Monday or Tuesday to do some work with me. So I've got a commitment there in the diary with somebody
Awesome.
else. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
perfect. As long as you're taking that action, putting energy into this new life, messaging that friend, setting a date, even if it's next week or week after, you're
yeah.
taking action on that. And that action will pay off.
It
Because
will
then
be
you'll have
next week.
content. It'll be next week.
It'll be next
Awesome.
week for sure. Yeah, yeah.
What would you say overall? We talked about a lot here. You got a lot of insights. What was your main takeaway, would you say, for you?
To make myself more visible in a way that I'm comfortable with. So it's been brilliant. Thank you so much for all your advice. That has been a game changer. And I will let you know how I get on with it because, yeah, really good, really good.
Very welcome.